G'day everyone, Buck up in North Queensland. This will be a real quick one, real quick. As you know, Jackery sent me this solar power station a while ago. Not to do with camping and all that, even though I can use it for camping. This is for after I lose power after a cyclone or a power outage of some sort. Still waiting for the electrician to quote and come around and put a generator switch in so I can try and do the fans and all that. That's going to happen down the track. I'm sick of waiting. Trying to get a tradie in this town is almost impossible. What I'm going to do today, on the Jackery thing, I read that it could run a household fridge for 3.6 hours or something, and I thought, that doesn't cut the mustard for me personally. I want something that's going to run it overnight, so that when I get up the next morning, then the generator can take over. I don't want to be running my generator after a cyclone at night time. It just annoys the neighbours. That's why I accepted this, thinking that it'd be able to run some stuff around the house overnight until I can tap into the generator during the day. Nothing worse than trying to sleep at night and someone's got a generator going. So anyway, I'm going to see how long the Jackery 2000 Plus, which has got a 3000 watt inbuilt inverter. If you want to know more about it, I've got a more in-depth clip, introduction clip on the Jackery. Just go through my channel, you'll see it there. This is a Samsung household fridge. It's got a freezer up top, refrigerator down below. I don't know, it's about a 480 litre, don't quote me on that. It's already at temp. This is the one we use downstairs for the soft drinks, beers, water, all that type of stuff. Our main fridge for the kitchen's upstairs. I'm going to see how long the Jackery 2000 Plus will run this fridge. It's already at temperature. I've only just unplugged it. I've got the power on. I've had it in the shed. It was on 99%. I charged it up to 100. So it's on 100%. Where's our 240? I turn the 240 volt side on, 240 over here, and all our 12 volt over here. So you turn your power on, choose 240, get our 240 volt plug, and in we go. And obviously it'll start, as it starts up, it's startup power, it'll start drawing. What I do like about the Jackery is the display on the front, and I've plugged it in, guys, at 10:50. 10:50 AM, so let's see how she goes. 10:50 AM, I'm hoping to get 8 hours. If it's any less than that, I'll be disappointed. It's pulling 773 watts at the moment. Obviously it's cycling because I only just plugged it back in. It was down to temperature, remember. It'll cycle and then it'll go off again. So at the moment, 767 watts. Remember, this has got a 3000 watt inverter, so it will easily run most appliances with 3000 watts. And the fridge looks like it's just cycled off, and it's pulling 0 watts. So as I said, the fridge was already down to temperature, everyone. I only just unplugged it before I turned the camera on. It cycled for a little bit, and then it thing. So it's probably like a camping fridge. It cycles, it draws power, and then it turns itself off to save power. When it gets to a certain temperature, it'll cycle again, get it back down to 3 degrees or whatever the fridge is set to, 4 degrees maybe Celsius, and then it'll stop cycling. So anyway, at 10:50, I've plugged it in. I'll keep an eye on it during the day and see how it goes. But it's running the fridge. I'll just make sure it is. Yep. The light's on. That's a good thing. That goes off after about 30 seconds. You just push the button to get your display up. So she's sitting on 100%. It's not pulling any watts at the moment. And the only time it'll pull is when it cycles, as I said, same as a camping fridge. Righto, that's all I've got to say. I'll come back. I might do a midway through one and then try one towards the end. Give you an idea of how long the Jackery can run my household fridge, which will be great. If it can run it for a fair while, I have no idea how long this is going to run for. I haven't tried this before. if it can run it for a fair decent time, wouldn't it be good? We have Ergon Energy will tell us a week before, doing upgrades on the power lines, your power's going to be out for 8 hours. That happens quite regularly around here. Wouldn't it be good to be able to bring the Jackery in and be able to keep the main fridge up there running with all the food and that in it for 8 hours while the power's off? Wouldn't it be great after a cyclone to be able to keep a fridge going? So we'll see how we go. Just started cycling again, you can hear it click on. Pulling 200 watts, obviously that fridge is cycling at the moment again. Alright, we'll come back later. Righto everyone, I've been out running around this morning in town and everything. It's now 3:18. So what's that, about 4.5 hours. So I just got on the Jackery site and it's got a picture there and says it'll power a house fridge for 2.3 hours. And when I saw that, I thought, if that's the case, it's going to be useless to me. Like, if it only powers a fridge for 2.3 hours, it's absolutely useless. Well, it's been 4.5 powering the big fridge down here in the back, which is a normal full-size fridge freezer, like most people would have in their house, okay? It's a warm day today. It's probably close to 30 degrees, I guess, high 20s at least, 29, 30. So it's not the middle of winter or anything. It's quite warm, we've got the ceiling fans on. So 4.5 hours running the fridge here, and I haven't checked this for at least an hour, and it's on 82% still. So that 2.3 hours powering a house fridge, I don't know what house fridge they're talking about, no idea, but this is in Australia, this is something you get. It's a Samsung, roughly, I don't know, 480 litres maybe, I don't know. It's a decent sized fridge. It's running a freezer as well. So you think that every time you run a camping fridge and the freezer's running, it draws a lot more out of your battery. But 4.5 hours, 320. So that's 4.5 on the dot now. I started it at 10:50. What's that in 4.5 hours? And I'm still on 82%. Things are looking good. I'm hoping that this thing can run the fridge long enough, at least through the night. That's what I'm hoping for. I started this at 10. So if I can get 10 or 12 hours out of this, I'll be very, very happy with it. We're on target, aren't we? 4 hours, still on 82%. Things are looking good. Things are looking real good. Rightio, it's been a long day. I've been out doing stuff. It's 9:20 p.m. guys, 21:20. When I went to school, what's that, about 10.5 hours now. I put it on at 10:50 this morning. It's now 9:20 p.m. What's that, 10.5 hours? I haven't checked this for a while. Let's see how she goes. 61%. Jackery's still on 61%. It's been 10.5 hours. I was hoping it'd last 8 hours. It's lasted 10.5 hours. Really, when I think about it, I need it to last 12 hours at least. I'm just trying to work out cyclone type stuff and how long you want things to last. 10.5 hours it's been going. It's still on 61%. I'm going to go out, watch the footy. The Broncos are kicking the Dolphins' ass at the moment. I'm going to go, keep going. I'll probably go to bed about 11:30 at night. And then I'll probably call it up there. So once I get to 12 hours, I'll probably call it up because I've got to go to bed. And then we'll see what it is. But 10.5 hours, 61% left, running a big fridge. Pretty impressive. I'm very happy with that. I really am. I thought it'd be a lot lower. I didn't even know it'd last 10 hours. 10.5 hours, 61% left. Yeah, this is looking good. Beauty. Hey everyone, it is 10:50 p.m. I just finished watching the footy and was just on YouTube, and I looked at the time and I went, wow, it's been 12 hours on the dot. At 10:50 this morning, I plug this fridge into the Jackery 2000 plus. So that's 12 hours on the dot. Fridge is still going, which is good news. I'll just hit the power button just quickly. Brings the display up. And I'm down on 52% after 12 hours. It's not bad, is it? 52%. If the last 50% lasts as long as the first 50%, unlike a bloody fuel tank in a car, notice the second half goes quicker than the first half. 52%, 12 hours. So I'm tipping, going on that, I could run this fridge for 24 hours off the Jackery, which is pretty good. So in thinking about that now, I'm confident that if I ever get this generator switch in the house, I can plug the Jackery into it. I can power a fridge overnight. Probably not this one. After a cyclone, we'll turn this one off. Just have the main fridge up in the kitchen with the food and that in there. I know I can run that for at least 12 hours. Maybe a couple of ceiling fans and a light at night. And then the next morning I can get up, and if the Jackery's quite low, I can start my generator out there, and within an hour I know I can charge this Jackery up from just about flat using the generator, my little angle generator, and charge the Jackery up to 100% again. Turn it off, let the Jackery do its thing without running the generator, and then late in the afternoon maybe run the generator again for another hour or so, get the Jackery up to 100%. So I can keep the fridge going and have some ceiling fans at night after a cyclone or whatever. So rather than running the generator through the generator switch, I'll run the Jackery through there, and I'll give you, when I get the generator switch in the house, I will give you a demonstration of that. So I can run ceiling fans and all that. Up here, ceiling fans are a must, gotta have them. And then I'll just run the generator a couple of times, maybe in the morning, get it back to 100%. Let it run stuff during the day, ceiling fans and all that in the fridge, and then late in the afternoon run the Jenny again, charge him up. So I'm starting to get a lot of confidence in this Jackery now. I think it's going to do what I require it to do, and that is to power things in this house when I lose power. And I know if Ergon Energy now say we're going to turn the power off for 8 hours during the day, I can take the Jackery upstairs and run the main kitchen fridge, which has got all our food and everything in. This one's not, see, it's just got water and soft drinks and everything in it, and some ice and everything in the freezer. I can take this upstairs, run our main fridge for 8 hours. I know it'll do 8 hours standing on its head now, 8 hours easy. And then when Ergons are doing their power upgrades here and the power comes on at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the Jackery's kept that fridge going up there, so we don't have to worry about, you know, when the power was off, don't go to the fridge, the power's off, don't let the cold out of the fridge and that, don't have to worry about that anymore. So there you go. You saw me 10:50 this morning. I plugged this big fridge in, which has got a freezer as well. 12 hours later, I'm on still just over 50%, 51%. So there you go. I've got a lot more confidence in this now. As I said, I only run a fridge for 2.3 hours on the website. Well, I've just run this for 12 hours, this fridge, and it's only used half the Jackery. So things are looking up with this thing. Things are looking good. And I'm confident now that after a cyclone, when I get this generator switch in, this Jackery's going to be able to do what I need it to do. So anyway, stay tuned. There's going to be more videos about this. Let me know what you reckon in the comment section. 12 hours running this big fridge. What do you reckon? I reckon it's pretty good. I reckon I'm impressed with that, and I was hoping to get 8 hours out of this fridge. I've just got 12 and I've only half run the Jackery down. You've seen it here, guys. There's no bullshit. 51%. You've seen the iPhone. It's been 12 hours on the dot, or just over 12 hours now, and I've only used half the Jackery. Pretty impressive, I reckon. Let me know what you reckon in the comments. Anyway, stay tuned. I'm going to be doing more experiments with the Jackery, going to do some more experiments with him. Hopefully I'm not far away from getting this bloody generator switch put in up here, so I can start testing out how long I can run ceiling fans, lights, and a fridge, and run multiple things in this house, and just mimic losing power, because I'll be able to switch to generator power, which will be the Jackery, and it lets me know exactly what I can do with this thing after a cyclone, and what I can do with the Jackery and my generator working in conjunction with each other. I reckon I'm onto a good thing here. Catch you later, eh? See you next time.